ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسروینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو کور.
Hello and welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is RTA News and you're watching English News Bulletin. I'm Suleiman Talash. Let's dive into today's news updates from the country and beyond. We begin with Minister of Economy Qaridin Muhammad Hanif met with Iran's ambassador to Kabul, Ali Reza Bekdili. Officials say the two sides discussed economic cooperation, trade, investment, the situation of Afghan refugees, and the continuation of humanitarian assistance. The Iranian ambassador noted that economic ties between Afghanistan and Iran are expanding, adding that Iranian companies are interested in investing in the sectors of energy, transportation, and trade. On the other hand, Minister of Public Health Maulavi Nur Jalal Jalali met with Kazakh medical delegation in Kabul. According to the Ministry of Public Health, the two sides discussed expanding health sector relations between Afghanistan and Kazakhstan, strengthening joint cooperation, exchanging professional experience, capacity building programs, and improving coordination. The ministry added that under the framework of bilateral cooperation, a number of Afghan health workers will be sent to Kazakhstan for practical training. Overseas, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in South Africa. The Indian Prime Minister wrote on his X account that the two leaders agreed to increase of bilateral trade to $50 billion by 2030. On the other hand, Afghanistan is turning to Uzbekistan as a key trade partner, using rail links to reach Central Asian and European markets and access affordable imports. Traders say new agreements are being negotiated for the export of Afghan coal and the import of medicines and cement, making Uzbekistan a strategic alternative for meeting the country's trade needs. Take a look.
Under a new trade agreement between Afghanistan and Uzbekistan, Uzbekistan will export medicines to Afghanistan at reduced prices in exchange for importing Afghan coal, which will be used to produce cement. The Afghanistan Chamber of Commerce and Investment calls the deal as a positive step for boosting bilateral trade, allowing cheaper imports of medicines and cement via Uzbekistan's railway, and creating new opportunities for Afghan coal exports.
These agreements allow us to use Uzbekistan as a transit route, enabling Afghanistan to export goods to multiple countries and also import products from other countries, especially by utilizing Uzbekistan's railway network under easy conditions and at a low cost. This can have a very positive impact.
At the same time, several Afghan businessmen say they have reached agreements to import cement and medicines through Uzbekistan and export Afghan coal to Pakistan despite the suspension of direct trade. They are also seeking to expand exports of Afghan products to European markets, in addition to Uzbekistan and other Central Asian countries.
Currently, about 60% of our medicine is imported from Pakistan. We need to find alternatives, how to bring in high quality and affordable medicine. Additionally, on exporting coal and importing cement, especially for construction projects that are actively underway in our markets. In the past, much of our cement came from Pakistan. Countries like Uzbekistan and Tajikistan offer valuable opportunities. We are hopeful for alternative routes. We must aim to export to Europe and establish alternative trade paths to avoid disruptions. Our traders are the backbone of our economy and must not suffer losses.
This development comes as Afghan businessmen signed trade agreements worth $700 million with counterparts from Iran, India and Central Asian countries at the 4th Imam Abu Hanifa National and International Exhibition in Kabul.
Meanwhile, an Afghan businessman residing in Russia has delivered 40 tons of food aid to the National Disaster Management Authority. At the handover ceremony, Mullah Nuruddin Turabi, Director General of the National Disaster Management Authority, said the assistance will be distributed to families who may be affected during the winter season. Authorities report that 54 families returned to the country through the Silk Bridge crossing in Nimruz yesterday, 17 through Islam Qala in Hirwat, 900 through Spin Boldag in Kandahar, and 229 families via the Turkham crossing in Nangarhar province. They add that 1,492 families have been transported to their respective provinces. 1,294 returnees received SIM cards and assistance was distributed to hundreds of families. On the other hand, Afghanistan has exported 30 tons of saffron worth $33 million over the past 8 months, according to the Ministry of Industry and Commerce. Officials say saffron cultivation has also expanded, increasing from 9,500 hectares last year to 12,000 hectares this year. Here is the rest of the story.
Afghan saffron, ranked the world's base for 9 consecutive years, is now seeing notable growth in both yield and exports. The Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock says that it has facilitated this expansion through large-scale training programs and the allocation of land to farmers. Officials report that saffron cultivation has risen from 9,500 hectares last year to 12,000 hectares this year, marking a significant year-on-year increase.
Last year, 9,500 hectares of land in Afghanistan were cultivated with saffron. This year, that figure has increased to 12,000 hectares.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Industry and Commerce reports that Afghanistan exported around 65 metric tons of saffron last year. Over the past 8 months alone, 30 tons valued at $33 million have been shipped to several countries, including the United States.
During
the first 8 months of this year, Afghanistan exported 13 tons of saffron, valued at approximately $33 million, to countries including India, Spain, Saudi Arabia, the United States, UAE, France, Australia, Turkey and other countries.
Furthermore, officials from the Saffron Farmers Association say they are working to expand saffron cultivation even further and promote its production across the country.
We're working together with farmers, national traders and other stakeholders to further increase the cultivation area. I believe we are among the best in the saffron trade and one of the top exporters globally.
Officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, Irrigation and Livestock say the Islamic Emirate remains committed to supporting farmers, providing training programs and promoting alternative crops, while narcotics cultivation has been fully banned since the Islamic Emirate regained power, and the international community has yet to take significant action despite repeated calls for support in alternative farming.
More than 2,000 mujahideen of the Islamic Emirate graduated from administration and management training program organized by the Technical and Vocational Education Authority in Kunar province. During the ceremony, the Director General of the Technical and Vocational Education Authority said that by completing such programs, mujahideen will be able to carry out their duties in a more professional manner. And the final one reached that a 47-year dispute between two families in Khost province has been resolved through the mediation of tribal elders and the local officials. According to local authorities, both sides have pledged to resume normal life and continue living together in an atmosphere of brotherhood and harmony. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the latest news updates from RTA News. Thank you for watching.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا